Hey, hola, my friends. I hope all is fine and well with you and yours. Well, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. You know, a lot of videos that we make, I'm always showing you stuff from the garden or stuff from the animals. You know, even ideas or concepts that I come up with. But I said for 2022, I'm going to give you guys exactly what I want you to start. Exactly what I want you to take from all of these videos that I've made. Is that number one, you can do it. And number two, it's literally as simple as farm to table. Don't believe me? Let's check it out. Now, many nutritionists will tell us, and they're absolutely right when they say this, that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. They say eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a prince, and eat dinner like a pauper. Well, what if you could make sure that those elements that you had for your breakfast gave you your vitamins A, C, D, yep, even vitamin D, your vitamins A, C, even protein. Yes, there is a little bit of vitamin D in there. There's actually calcium in some of the stuff that we're going to be serving up for breakfast as well. Everything is packed with just micronutrients. It's incredible. You always hear me say incredible. I'm not even kidding when I tell you guys this. It's absolutely incredible. From everything from the vegetables that we're going to be using to the eggs that we're going to harvest. And when we do this, I want you guys to know that when we cook this, it's going to be out of our office. Now, our office is only 230 square feet. And I like to make the videos out of there. Number one, because it's sort of private for us. Just hang out with you and I. Don't tell the Rose. But it's the ideal size of a living space that anyone would need if they were single, or even if it were two people. You can live comfortably in that space, and I know that because you guys didn't realize it, but we've been practicing doing that in this guest house for the longest now. Now, excuse me, let me clarify. Don't get me wrong. We're not doing it because there's problems with the family. We're doing it because in order for me, before I even begin to teach you guys, to tell you guys about something or recommend something, or yeah, like I said, just express a thought, an idea, I truly want to live it out. I truly want to live it out. For you guys that are actually subscribers to the page, if you're not, please hit the link below. Subscribe, guys. This page is awesome. Also, don't forget about our sponsors. We'll be telling you a little bit about those at the end. But yeah, let's get to cooking. Now, the greens that we'll be making for today will be our hydroponics horizontal gutter system Swiss chard. And just to tell you a couple things about Swiss chard. It's technically Swiss chard if it has that creamy white stem on it, like that. Other colors, rainbow chard, things of that nature. People might get rhubarb confused with it. Please don't eat the leaves on rhubarb. They're poison, all right? So don't do that. Swiss chard is also packed with vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin K, magnesium, and it also helps with inflammation. And all of these vegetables, well, not all of them, all of the vegetables that we grow, actually, well, not all, let me stop lying, almost all our vegetables that we grow help with inflammation in one way or another. Now, me being at the age of 50, that's something I have to consider. For you guys that are younger, please take care of yourselves, take care of your joints now. I'd recommend you start putting this in your diet now. We'll also be using some of our green onions that we transplanted from our kitchen scraps. These guys come in handy, and I love using them because I told you guys last year, and I want to reiterate it this year, we only try to grow what we're going to eat and what we know we're going to eat on a somewhat regular basis. We spent years growing things that we didn't actually enjoy eating just to see if we could grow them. But I assure you there's nothing wrong with the experimental process. But now that we focused on growing things that we actually use and utilizing scraps that you might get from the grocery store, you know what? Makes life a lot easier. Now here's actually my favorite part of today's video. My girls, we have a variety of chickens down here. I won't get the name and the types, but they have a beautiful pen. We keep it clean. These are things that you should always do, guys. They have a nice supply of water, and they always have food over there. But as soon as they're done with their food, they manage to kick wood chips and stuff right back into it. But it's okay. Right now, we're going to see if we can get some seriously farm fresh eggs. Oh, we got more than what I bargained for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these up, I'm going to bring them inside, and I'm going to show you how to take care of them before we cook them. Now, another important thing to remember about the chicken eggs, fresh farm eggs, is that you don't wash them. If there's any, most chances are there's going to be a little bit of dirt, a little bit of poop, whatever left over on them. Just take a very, very, very fine grade sandpaper and gently remove it. You also don't put water on them if you want to store them. See, when the eggs actually come out of the little on the chicken, one of the final steps is this coating that goes over the egg, which provides a natural barrier from bacteria or anything else that could harm your chickens or harm the eggs and potentially harm the little baby chicks from being born. So nature provides the best and the most proficient protection for the eggs. The thing is, if you wash that off, if you rinse the eggs, you remove that. And that's why store-bought eggs are different than farm fresh eggs. And another tip about farm fresh eggs is you can actually keep these eggs stored for months and months and months in your fridge. To simplify it, you make sure you scrub that little dirt stuff off, whatever you might have on the eggs, and you make sure you put them in the carton pointy side down. Label what month that you put them in, and make sure that you eat them within we're talking 6 to 8 months, and you guys should be good. I wasn't lying to you guys. Here we go. Chard. Nice creamy white stem, nice vibrant leaves. That way you know your chard is healthy. So now we're going to take each one of these leaves of chard, and we're going to pull the green leafy part off, just like that. I'm going to separate them from the stems because these cook in 2 different stages. So let me take care of the rest of this bunch. Give me 1 sec. So here we go, my friends. Notice I separated the stems from the leaves. We're going to do 2 things different. We're going to do two different things to them. Excuse me. We're going to take these stems. I'm going to cut these into about inch wide chunks, like that. Okay. There we go. Just going to set these right there because it takes a little bit longer for the stems to cook than it does for the leaves themselves. Now with our already rinsed leaves, and just a tip guys, when you rinse the leaves on your Swiss chard, don't dry them because you want that water to cook off while they're sauteing. I'm going to take them just like this, right? You see this is the big old pile, and this, I am not a chef. All right, but I'm going to, if they're not compact, I'm just going to fold them up as much as I can, and I'm going to go inch wide diagonal strips like this. There we go. Now a few things about the chard that I'm using, the chard that we grow. Usually chard leaves are super, super huge, all right? Big, broad leaves. But the bigger the leaf, most likely, the tougher and more fibrous the leaf is itself. We've trained our chard, and you might notice with some other vegetables, with the other greens that we had back there, we've trained them to basically grow the best part. We get rid of all of the hard, more fibrous leaves on the outside, and we train it to grow these from the center. So that whole pile that you see me brought in, that's a higher end scale of Swiss chard. Believe it or not, there are scales of Swiss chard. There are those that are not that good. Well, I think they're all delicious, but there are some that are more favored above others, and this is one of them right here. You can do this in your own backyard, and you can do it for pennies. All right, cadets. Now we have our medium-sized saucepan. We have it on a medium-high heat. What we're going to do is part of a medium heat. What we're going to do is we're going to take about a tablespoon, there you go, of olive oil. We're going to let that start heating up. Next, about half a teaspoon of garlic. We'll toss that in there. We're also going to take about a 1/3 teaspoon of coriander. We're going to set that in there too. Now, I don't know what it is about the coriander, but when that coriander melts with the chard, it is unbelievable, my friends. I'm going to take a pinch, red pepper, throw it in there too to bring out some of that zest. Oh, you hear that sizzling up? That's what I'm talking about. Give that a little stir. You want to, oh my gosh, you want to smell that fragrance release, the olive oil, the garlic, and the coriander. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is incredible. It's so simple. You can do this right in your house, I assure you. Now that that's hot, we're going to take our Swiss chard stems. I'm going to throw them in there. All right. I'm going to set a cover on there. We're going to let those cook for between 3 and 5 minutes. I always just go for 4 just to keep it safe, and we'll be right back. Now, while that chard's over there cooking up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take those eggs that we harvested. We're going to crack 1. Bam. 2. Woo-hoo. 3. Let's go. And 4. Now, here's a little trick, all right? In this next part, you definitely do not have to do. I do it because when I cook a meal, I want the meal to fulfill and to feed my body and nourish my body all day. So, I'll take a little bit of half and half. I know you don't have to do this, guys, but this is my thing. This is my jam. I'm going to pour that in my eggs. Little bit of pepper. Little bit of salt. Now, it's not for me to tell you guys what salt to use, but we use Baja Gold natural sea salt. It's made by a company that I work with, C90 Plus, and it provides all the essential elements and natural minerals that you would need. But I just like it because it tastes better than, that you would need to naturally get from the soil and from plants. And it's just really, really highly. It's not even highly energized. It's just incredible salt. That's the only way to put it. I take this multiple times a day. I use it multiple times a day, and it just gets me through. And plus, if you use this, if you taste it, you'll never use Morton's again. Trust me on that one. Next step is your whisk. You don't want to use a fork with this. We want to whisk. We want to get this up and going. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is looking great. Let's give our chard a check. I say not so bad. Not so bad myself, chaps. That chard is looking pretty good. And now we want to go ahead and we're going to take those leaves and we're going to add them in right on top. So here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and add those charred leaves to it. Yeah, I'm going to make quite the mess here, holding it. I'm trying to do this at the same time. But you get the drip. Man, the steps and shit. Stop, pardon me, the steps and stuff I go through to have fun with you guys. I swear, but you know what? You tell me you enjoy it, and that's why I love doing it. Please don't laugh at my old stove. I love this little old cast iron stove. It's come on, man. You can't beat it. It's not the most efficient, but it works in a little tiny guest house. It's got its own little character. I kind of love that too. And plus, you know, if you're starting out in your first crib, and that's what this is basically. This is you starting out in your first crib over here. All right. You might not be able to have the best of everything, and I need you to know that's okay. You're doing it. You're on your own. You're trying your best, and that's all that really matters. Look at me, and I'm serious. You listening to this. If you're out there trying to get out there and do it on your own, you got this, man. You got this, buddy. You got this, dude. You got it. Yeah, I almost forgot. We're going to cover this again with the top. We're going to let this cook for another 5 minutes. Give it a nice little toss on the inside. I'll give it a much better one once I put this gimbal down. But we'll check back in 5 minutes. Alright guys, so back to our eggs. We got about a tablespoon of butter melting in a non-stick skillet. And I gotta repeat, once again, this is one of the things you don't need. You don't need. It's a non-stick skillet, so you actually don't need butter. I'm using it because I love the taste of butter. I do. And remember those eggs that we whipped up and that we seasoned and we hit with our half and half cream? We'll take those. We're gonna set those in there. There we go. It's got a nice sizzle to it, but what we want to do now is we want to lower that heat. All right. Let's see. There we go. There we go. We want to lower that heat, and we want the edges to get a little firm because we want those nice curdles, the nice big fluffy curdles in the eggs. You can see how the golden color of the yolk and of the egg batter itself just looks so much better than it was if it was in a tradition, if it was from a store-bought eggs. And plus, just keep in mind how these chickens are taken care of on these farms. Now, it breaks my heart, but if I'm going to enjoy something like a nice, delicious egg, I'm going to make sure that it comes from chickens that I'm taking care of. We're all on this planet together. We all have to take care of each other. Okay, my friends, so let's see what we're looking at. Our eggs are just about done. Actually, scrambled eggs, they can finish off cooking off of the grill. I mean, off of the eye of the stove, off of the heat, because they have to cool down. In that cooling down process, they're still actually cooking. So these are just about done, almost done to my preference. Our greens, almost guarantee you that they're done. Let's grab one real quick. Oh my God! Heck yeah, guys! Let me turn these eyes off real quick. Well, there we go, guys. Fresh sauteed Swiss chard from the garden. Farm fresh eggs. Give it a little bit of garnish with some green onion from the yard. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, I love making this one for you, and I really wanted the first one of 2022 to be something special. I wanted you to know that I'm not just sitting here showing you things that I've seen on YouTube. I'm actually showing you how to get further, and just make a life a little bit easier for you, because we all have so much stuff going on, don't we? And don't you wish we had time to do more? But we don't. But if you take a few minutes and hang with me a few times a week, at least we can figure out how to improve it. And how can we do that? By planting that first seed so that together we grow. Peace and blessings, my friends. Bon appetit, and I'll see you soon.